Best-selling author Lee Child introduced readers to Jack Reacher in 1997. He has become one of fiction's most widely loved characters. Forbes calls it the strongest brand in publishing. Lee Child is bringing back Jack Reacher for the 20th time in his new book, Make Me. Lee, we are honored to have you at the table.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Happy Labor Day.
So 20 books, I would imagine. I mean, and I've heard you do this often without a set plot. Is it hard to keep churning it out?
I thought it would get easier, but it really doesn't. You know, every time, you're right, I don't have a plot, I don't have an outline, I just start on page one and see what happens. And every time I think, oh, this is the time it's going to not work. But this one worked. I'm really happy with it. Make Me came out great. It was a happy year writing it. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with it.
Yeah, and this one is interesting because maybe for the first time, Jack Reacher seems a little vulnerable.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to write the same book every year, so I got to change it up a little bit. And the stakes are very high in this one. You know, Reacher always wins, but he likes to make sure the other guy knows he's lost. And this time it's too big. You know, he's not going to be able, he can win the battle, he can't win the war. And so that makes him feel a little bit not himself. Plus, he really likes the woman in this book, and that always makes you a little bit vulnerable. And he also gets hit in the head. Now, he's got hit in the head a lot, but this time really hard. And so he's got a headache, or is it more than a headache? You know, so he's got vulnerabilities in this book, but fortunately, the woman that he's with is super smart too. And so together, they get a pretty good result.
Now, I'm probably going to make you blush a little bit, but I want to read something the Washington Post once wrote about you. It said, Reacher is the stuff of myth, one of the century's most original, tantalizing pop fiction heroes. Where do you get the energy to keep these plots going? Where do the ideas come from?
Well, you know, ideas come from everywhere. I mean, today, just looking around here, listening to the other guests you've had on, I can get, like, you know, that app thing, you know, there's an idea. But it's much more a question of which of many ideas are you going to invest in for next year, you know, which will still be hot next year when the book comes out. And the energy comes from loving to do it. You know, I just love to entertain people. I don't think of myself so much as an author as such as an entertainer. You know, I just love it when I get an email saying, I was wrecked at work because I was up all night finishing your book. You know, if that happened, then it's worked, you know.
Why do you think this character in particular, though, who is a rough around the edges, kind of very mysterious, there are a lot of things we still don't know about him, why do you think he is so popular?
Because he does the right thing, and we would all like to do that. I mean, I believe people are really decent and full of goodwill, and they would like to do the right thing, but of course most of the time we can't because we don't have the capability, we're inhibited, it's a work situation, what are you going to do, get fired? You know, you can't do stuff in real life, so we love to see it done on the page.
Well, what about on the big screen? I mean, do you get to have a say in how Tom Cruise is going to act as?
You know, yeah, he would certainly listen if I said something, but I don't want to say something. I mean, I believe that I write the books, they make the movies, and every time I say to them, I'm not going to look over your shoulder, I'm not going to be making comments, and I think then they relax, and then you actually get a better product because they're not interrupted, they're not thinking about what I want. So yeah, there's another one coming up, start shooting next month, and then comes out a year later, October 2016. So yeah, we're back to it, and I'm looking forward to it. There'll be a lot of new faces, but obviously there will be people I know, and it'll be fun.
Looking forward to that one. Enjoyed the first one, too. I thought Tom Cruise was an interesting choice for Reacher. He's not how I pictured the character, but he certainly played him well.
He really did, didn't he? He got that kind of menace and that kind of quietness about him.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you use the companion app, we deserve a cut of that. We will talk about Reacher. Just remember that.
I will remember that.
Lee Child, thank you so much for coming in on Labor Day. We appreciate it very much.
Pleasure.